Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads. And well, this is the end of 2025. I'm not gonna lie, kind of okay with 2025 coming to an end. I wanted to basically share my favourite reads of 2025 with you. I had 34 5-star reads. I'm filming this video before the end of the year, but I have 2 books that are currently on the go. Neither of them are going to be 5-star reads. They are fun times. I'm enjoying them, but I measure 5-star ratings with my heart, and my heart is telling me these are not 5-star reads. They're fun times, but they're not 5 stars. I would like to start, where to start? I'm going to start this with my new, can we please welcome to the stage, my newest auto-buy author, because if you've been here for a while, maybe I've mentioned it. I think I have. When I read 3 5-star books by an author, they go on to my auto-buy author list, which means that when they release a new book, I'm going to order it. I'm going to order it. I'm going to pre-order because they have proven themselves to be an author that just works for me. And that author is Aman Hariri Kia. I read these 3 books in 2025 and they were genuine highlights of my year. I loved them. So they are, in the order I read them, The Most Famous Girl in the World, Female Fantasy, and this was the earliest release that I read last, 100 Other Girls. This author just writes the best characters. They're flawed, of course, as everyone is, but she writes characters that you care about straight away. And I love the way that she writes characters. I love the way that she makes me just so heavily invested in their lives. The books do have a bit of romance in them. However, I would say that it's female fantasy that has more romance. Give me 2 seconds. My battery's flashing. I have a charger. So yes, characters. I don't need to love the characters as long as I love like the situation they are in, but if I love the characters and the situation they're in, like I'm the happiest clam that ever did clam. And I love the way that she writes characters because they are characters that I want to be friends with. I want to have them in my life. The main characters. The side characters, sometimes not so much. However, in female fantasy, the friend group, I wanted to be part of them. They were so fun. I also just love the way that she brings real life elements but adds a little bit of like the fantastical. And they are over exaggerated. They are a little unrealistic at points, but also kind of unrealistic at the point of, but it could happen. Like it could happen. I belly laughed, like full belly laughed, cackled, kicked my little hooves, cried. I cried a lot at all of these books just because my heart was warmed. My heart was warmed, and on the surface these books look like they should just be like fun times, not so deep, but they really do go deep into the emotional little bank. I love this. This book as well had little chapters. Every second chapter was of a romantasy novel surrounding a merman, and I would like to read that. Like, I don't know if I want to know what tail play is, but I think I do want to know what that is. Fun times, but also like with heart and soul. Another author who is maybe on her way to being a favourite auto-buy author of mine is Sheila Yasmin Marakar. I've only read 2 of her books because I think only 2 books exist. I've read them both. I love them both. This author also writes characters I love, but they are chaotic and they are awful. I don't want to be friends with them, but I kind of want one of my friends to be, so that I can get secondhand stories of what they're up to. She writes really wonderful stories about kind of quite well-off people being awful and somebody joining the world of these awful people. They are fun books. They are messy. They are little, it kind of scratches that itch of Real Housewives that I really like. They are fun and they are light and they are good times, but they also, I was kept guessing. Unpredictable. I really enjoy them. Let's take a little detour into non-fiction because I've been loving some non-fiction. I'm going to start with an essay collection, Die Hot with a Vengeance by Sable Yong. These are essays surrounding beauty and expectations on women throughout their lives of how you feel you should look and what a lot of society dictates that you should do. There's a lot of should in this book, and it was very thought-provoking because there were some perspectives that were from cultures and upbringings different to my own that I wasn't aware of, and it really did open my eyes. But it was also I found this really upsetting because it's so sad the way that a lot of people feel they have to do certain things because somebody tells them that they have to. And then I got really upset because I am first and foremost an emotional beast. I got really upset because my stepkids, 2 of them are 15, like 15-year-old girls. And I was like, I look to what I was like at 15. They're nothing like me. Like, they're going to be great. But I look at like the expectations I felt, and like, that's horrible. And I don't want that for them. I want better for like this new generation of kids. I want them to like have the confidence to like be themselves. Don't feel that they have to like squeeze themselves into a mold. Don't try and impress people who do not deserve. They do not deserve it. It just made me feel really sad for like child me. Made me feel sad for like child me, but also like everybody who grew up, because it's not just my generation, it's generations before. And I'm hopeful that maybe the younger people don't feel these huge expectations, because it's heartbreaking to think about that, because they're just so little and you just want to protect them. Follows the same general vibe is Pixel Flash by Ellen Atlanta. Some of my favourite non-fiction is about beauty, wellness, taking a little critical eye. That's something I very much enjoy. And this book was very, very personable. I really enjoyed it, and it felt a very modern look at things because there were discussions with like influencers and things that people I don't know, and the way that they feel they have to act. And it's actually very heartbreaking. It's a very, very thought-provoking, very moving book. But these 2 books, they look like they're going to be, you know, surface level. I cannot get this back in the jacket. These 2 books look like they're going to be like light, fun. Look at them, they're fun covers. No, they're going to emotionally wreck you if you're anything like me. Maybe you're a lot tougher than me and you won't cry at them. But in addition to enjoying reading books about the beauty wellness industry, I love reading non-fiction about women, women's history. And I think that I would just be doing everyone a disservice if I did not recommend highly White Tears, Brown Scars by Ruby Hamad. This book came to me highly, highly recommended, and it deserves those high recommendations. This book looks at basically how white women's feminism betrays women of colour, and it looks at critiques how a lot of feminist movements that are viewed as being, it's great, you know, the gals, they got something. Not all gals. Not all gals got something. And it looks at how women of colour were ignored, pushed down, and worse, in favour of raising white women. It's a heartbreaking read, but it is an important read. And what's that phrase? People who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. That's not the phrase. That's the general gist of it. I think it's really important to read this book. If I know you in life, I'll lend you it. This is a tough read at points. Of course it is, but I highly recommend it. Sometimes you have to feel uncomfortable reading things. That's how you learn. And my last non-fiction is a little bit of a detour to the previous, but it's still wonderful. And it's Good with Money by Emma Edwards. I've tabbed this. Have I tabbed it? Yeah, no, I didn't tab it. I used Post-its. I've lost my tabs. I'm gonna get more. This book, would it shock you if I said that this book is about being good with money? It is about basically taking control of your own spending habits. I'm quite good with money because I grew up without money, and you kind of become quite good with it when you have to be. And I really like the author. I follow her on Instagram and she seems really nice, and I really liked when she was sort of teasing the book. I was like, that sounds really interesting. So I pre-ordered it, and then it came and I read it and I was like, I love this book, because I actually feel that I might sound a bit dramatic, when do I not? But I feel this book like changed my life. Just in regards to, I've always been a budgeter, but I've never really included like categories that help me like live. Like, I was always saving the maximum I could save, and there was like no fun money for Callie. There was no, treats for me. Yes, I would buy myself lots of books. I love books. But I never like went to the fitness class because I thought that was too expensive and I could just work out at home. I never bought myself the flowers because I thought, oh, they're just gonna die anyway. I never like let my money like romanticize my life. And I don't even put a huge amount in my sort of fun money category. But this book sort of let me really just make my money allow me to live a life I want to live. And I really like it. Let's move on to the standalones. I have 3 standalone books. First is Chlorine by Jade Song. Oh, I read this in the summer and it has stuck with me. I actually started reading it on my birthday. So I was reading it in June in a coffee shop, and I was just like, this is one of the best books I have ever read. The writing is exquisite, and it's a coming of age story, I suppose is the best way to describe it. But it is a tale of obsession and of desperation and of just trying to fit in, and then the measures that some people will take when they can't fit in, and the lengths people will go to succeed in their dreams. It was exquisite. It's not long. It doesn't need to be long. It packs a wallop of a punch. This book was fantastic. I highly recommend all of these. But this book, I've known when I pick my favourites, I'm going on a segue. I don't look at any lists when I'm picking my favourites. I just go into my brain, my mind palace, I suppose, and I just think, what did I really, really enjoy? What books have stuck with me this year? And this was top of my list. I was like, this has to be on it. I've not stopped thinking about this book for 6 months, 7 months, 7 months. Another book that has stuck with me, I read this in May, is A Sharp Scratch by Heather Darwent. I love me some toxic wellness. This book takes place in a toxic, well, they don't know it's toxic, but I do, wellness retreat. And it is very claustrophobic. The characters are very paranoid, which makes me very paranoid reading it because I'm trying to work out what is happening and I just couldn't. It was very tense, very atmospheric, very dark, but it's one of those books that is really creepy and you think it could happen. Like it could, which makes things even creepier. I did get an advanced copy from the publisher. I cried when they asked me if I wanted it because that's who I am. And my final standalone that I loved was Someday, Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham. Yes, Lauren Graham, Lorelai Gilmore from Gilmore Girls. This is a gorgeous slice of life of 90s nostalgia. We have a character who is on her last year in New York. She told herself if she's not made it by the end of the year, she has to move back home. She's gonna retrain as a teacher, but she dreams of being on the stage. And this is just about her working her little butt off, trying to succeed. I love books about people who are trying to achieve their goals, but this is the most lovable character. and it just oozes 90s New York. I say this as somebody who has neither been to New York nor been to New York in the 90s, but it kind of has that, you know, when you watch films that are set in New York in the 90s, it feels like it embodies that. So I can only assume that that's real. There's a lot of smoking in the book as well, which I think really amps up the 90s. And I want to end this video with an honourable mention for some rereads, because these are books that when I read them, they just like, they're like a balm. They're just like soothing my soul, and they make me genuinely, the fact that these books exist makes me genuinely delighted. And they are the Hilary Duff Young Adult book series. I have made not one but 2 vlogs reading this series. Is it the best written series? No. Not even a little. Are the characters amazing? No. Not even a little. Is it chaotic? 100%. 100%. We have an underground CrossFit cult. They sleep on bunk beds. They have really greasy hair. I learned that, is it Cincinnati? It's called Porkopolis. These books are amazing. I think everyone should read them if you want a little bit of fun and joy in your life. Read these. You could miss the middle one. Miss Devoted if you want. There's a lot of ghosts in it. But this series is ridiculous, and I think I might be the biggest fan of this series, and I'm willing to bear that honour. I couldn't pick, as you could probably tell, I could not pick one singular favourite book of 2025. So I chose to share all of my favourite books from 2025 because I could. I read some great books this year and I'm really happy about it. I will happily throw a 5-star rating when I feel it is deserved. And hopefully next year I can have just as many, if not more, 5-star reads. That would be amazing. I'd love to know if you have a favourite book or list of favourite books for 2025, and if you've read any of the books that I have mentioned in my video. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year. And I hope that we all, every single one of us, have a nice time. That's it. I just hope that we all have a nice time in 2026 and onwards. That's putting it out there. Thank you. Goodbye.